Our journey today takes us to a sacred place nestled at the eastern foot of Jerusalem's Old City, the Garden of Gethsemane. According to Christian tradition and the New Testament, this garden witnessed Jesus' final prayer and agony on the night before his crucifixion, moments before Judas Iscariot betrayed him to the Roman authorities. Situated on the slopes of the Mount of Olives, the garden offers a profound view of the Kidron Valley and the Temple Mount. This deeply revered Christian site draws hundreds of thousands of pilgrims from around the world each year, who come to walk in Jesus' footsteps and visit the significant stations of his life. A visit to Gethsemane presents a harmonious blend of pastoral green landscapes alongside two important religious sites, the Church of All Nations and the Tomb of the Virgin Mary. The name Gethsemane reflects the garden's ancient purpose. Historians believe that during the Second Temple period, this site housed both a wine press and, more significantly, an olive oil press. This agricultural heritage lives on today as ancient olive trees still grace the garden and its surroundings. The Church of All Nations stands as a Franciscan sanctuary in the Garden of Gethsemane. While its official name is the Church of the Agony, it earned its more common name from the remarkable way it was funded, through donations gathered from Catholic communities worldwide. The current church, built between 1919 and 1924 under the masterful direction of Italian architect Antonio Barluzzi, stands upon layers of rich religious history. In the 4th century, a small Byzantine basilica occupied this sacred ground until its destruction during the Sassanid invasion of 614. The site later hosted a much larger Crusader church in the 12th century, though this structure was abandoned and fell to ruins by 1347. The modern church's construction tells a fascinating story of preservation and discovery. In 1919, the Custos of the Holy Land, Ferdinando Diottalevi, commissioned Antonio Barluzzi to build the present church. However, construction took an unexpected turn in 1920 when workers uncovered a column and mosaic fragment from the original Byzantine church. This discovery led to a 2-year pause in construction, allowing for careful archaeological research. When work resumed in 1922, the church's plans were thoughtfully modified to incorporate these historical findings, leading to its final dedication in 1924. The Byzantine Church of Gethsemane, constructed during Emperor Theodosius' reign in the late 4th century, stood as a testament to early Christian architecture until its tragic destruction. The church served as a significant pilgrimage site, documented by both St. Jerome and the pilgrimage area, until the devastating Sassanid invasion of 614 CE. Archaeological evidence reveals a distinct burn layer from this period, marking the violent end of the original Byzantine church. After its destruction, the site remained largely abandoned until the Crusader period, when a new, larger church would rise from its ashes. After 5 centuries of obscurity following the Byzantine church's destruction, a new Christian sanctuary arose in Gethsemane during the 12th century. This Crusader church, larger than its predecessors, featured distinctive cross-shaped columns and thick 235-meter walls. Built on a different axis than the Byzantine church, it incorporated stones from the earlier structure. The church survived Saladin's conquest of Jerusalem in 1187, underwent renovations including octagonal column replacements, and remained standing until 1347. Its most notable feature was an elevated altar platform, 63 centimeters high, with 3 sacred rocks preserved within its apses. The modern Church of All Nations, completed in 1924, stands as a testament to international Christian solidarity and architectural brilliance. Built along the axis of the original Byzantine church, but matching the larger dimensions of the Crusader church, it represents architect Antonio Barluzzi's masterful vision of Jesus' agony in Gethsemane. The church's design brilliantly conveys its spiritual significance through architectural elements. The deliberately dim interior, featuring 12 domes, 11 representing the apostles and 1 larger dome symbolizing Christ, creates an atmosphere of contemplation. The purple-tinted alabaster windows reflect Christian mourning traditions, while the dark blue, star-studded ceiling with olive branch motifs echoes the garden's nighttime setting. 16 nations contributed to its construction, their emblems proudly displayed in the ceiling and eastern wall mosaics. The building materials were carefully selected: reddish-gray stone from Lifta quarries for interior walls, and rose-colored Bethlehem stone for the exterior, creating a harmonious blend of local materials. The Garden of Gethsemane's ancient olive grove, spanning 1,200 square meters north of the church, holds centuries of sacred history within its gnarled trunks. Though modest in size today, the garden's original expanse included the area where the church now stands, marking the spot where, according to tradition, Jesus prayed upon the Rock of Agony. 8 venerable olive trees remain, protected by a fence incorporating Byzantine elements. A fascinating 2012 study by the Italian National Research Authority dated 3 of these trees to the 12th century, coinciding with the Crusader period. The garden's history reflects Jerusalem's changing rulers, from Muslim Waqf control through private ownership to its acquisition by the Franciscans in 1681. A special edition came in 1964 when Pope Paul VI planted a new olive tree in the garden's southeastern corner during his Holy Land pilgrimage. Just a few steps from the Church of All Nations, descending into the Kidron Valley, lies another sacred site intrinsically linked to Christian tradition: the Tomb of the Virgin Mary, an underground cave where, according to Orthodox Christian belief, Jesus' mother Mary was laid to rest. Before entering the Tomb of Mary, let's pause at the nearby Cave of Betrayal, a site steeped in history and religious significance. According to ancient Christian tradition dating back to the Byzantine period, this cave witnessed a pivotal moment in the Passion narrative. Here, Judas Iscariot betrayed Jesus to the Roman authorities with the famous kiss. The hexagonal cave, measuring 1760 by 1140 meters, has preserved its ancient character, from its star-painted ceiling to fragments of mosaics and ancient inscriptions on its walls. At its center stands an altar, behind which hangs a moving painting depicting Jesus surrounded by his grieving apostles. The cave, now under Franciscan custody, continues to serve as a significant place of prayer and pilgrimage. The Tomb of Mary presents a fascinating intersection of faith, tradition, and history. According to Orthodox Christian tradition, this site marks not a traditional burial place, but rather the location where Mary entered a divine sleep. The belief stems from a 2nd century apocryphal text, the Dormition of Mary, which describes how Mary didn't die as mortals do, but rather fell into eternal slumber before being taken to heaven by her son Jesus. This doctrine reflects the theological understanding that death was punishment for sin, and Mary, being sinless, was spared this fate. The site's architectural history spans centuries of religious devotion. The current structure descends 47 steps beneath ground level, leading visitors through time into a cross-shaped underground church. The original 4th century Byzantine church underwent several transformations, most notably in the 6th century when it became a crypt beneath a grand basilica. Though the upper church fell to various conquests, first to the Persians in 614, later to the Fatimids, and finally to Saladin, the underground sanctuary endured. Today's church showcases a remarkable fusion of faiths and traditions. The main chamber, shaped like a cross, houses Mary's tomb within a small edicule. While Greek Orthodox and Armenian Christians share primary custody, the site welcomes worship from multiple Christian denominations, each maintaining their own altars: Coptic, Syriac Orthodox, and Armenian. Uniquely, a Muslim mihrab, prayer niche, stands near the tomb, reflecting Islam's veneration of Mary. This interfaith respect dates back centuries, with 15th century Islamic scholar Mujir al-Din recording that Prophet Muhammad saw light emanating from his sister Mary's tomb during his night journey to Jerusalem. Each year on August 15th, the Feast of the Assumption commemorates Mary's heavenly ascension. While Eastern Christians maintain this Jerusalem location as Mary's resting place, many Catholics associate her final days with Ephesus in modern-day Turkey. This divergence of traditions emerged because the New Testament itself remains silent about Mary's final days. Our journey through the sacred grounds of Gethsemane has taken us through moments of profound spiritual significance. From the ancient olive trees that witnessed Jesus' final prayers, through the Church of All Nations with its stunning mosaics, to the Cave of Betrayal and the mystical tomb of Mary. Each of these sites tells a unique story in the tapestry of faith and history that makes Jerusalem so extraordinary. Thank you for joining us on this exploration. If you've enjoyed discovering these sacred places, please subscribe to our channel for more journeys through the Holy Land's most meaningful sites. Until our next adventure, Shalom from Jerusalem.